We did that last time. Well, good evening. Welcome to In the Blender with Brandon and Madeline Hyman with our special guest. Again on tonight is Miss Chaye.
Hello.
She's been with us the last 2 weeks, and tonight we're going to close out our conversation of Let's Talk, where we talked about some of her experiences growing up in the blended family. And it kind of ended on us last week. Something happened with the program. We don't know what happened. However, we were just about at the end. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in on tonight. Actually, I'm going to read some statistics. Can you share my thing? Okay. The children of divorce tended to do well if mothers and fathers, regardless of remarriage, resume parenting roles, putting differences aside and allowing the children continuing relationships with both parents. I'm going to read that again. The children of divorce tended to do well if mothers and fathers, regardless of remarriage, resume parenting roles, putting differences aside and allowing the children continuing relationship with both parents. Secondly, most children are doing reasonably well within 2 years of the divorce. Thirdly, most young adults from divorce are establishing careers and building meaningful lives. And then our last statistic for tonight is, as the blended family continues to become more prevalent, additional blended family statistics will become available. Since blended family numbers will continue to rise in the future as families divorce and remarry, it is important to study this family structure to learn the best ways to help those who are members of a blended family. And that's one part of why we're here to help. Blended families now is almost like the norm. I believe we probably have more blended families than normal or original families. And they're continuing to grow, daily. So that's why we're here weekly. Hi, Deja. We're here weekly sharing information, sharing our lives so that we can help others. So anyway, the last couple of weeks we had just been talking and asking each other questions, and we kind of phased out last week. Something happened. I don't know what happened. But we were talking about some of your most memorable experiences that you had with your blended dad. If you kind of want to just do a recap on that.
Yeah, well, I was just saying how some of the most important things to me were like larger events, like him coming to my high school graduation and driving 12 hours to come to my graduation from basic training when I went into the Navy so many years ago. Those were some of the most memorable times. I also mentioned that, during the time that I stayed with you all after, AJ was born, and I was battling with postpartum depression, he was very active and very helpful in helping me take care of AJ. I wasn't working, but he would get up in the middle of the night a lot of nights when AJ would cry and wouldn't sleep, and he would soothe him back to sleep. Sometimes it would take him, a couple hours, but he would be up with him just so that I could rest. And that was, those are things that are very important. They may seem like small things, so you look at it like, oh, that wasn't that big, but it means so much. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the smaller acts that mean the most. It's just the fact that he's just always have been there for me,
Yeah, that was one of the questions we had asked during, they have to go back and watch, but one of the questions was, did you feel like your blended father supported your decisions and choices in life?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And he supported them so much that some things he knew that I was doing was a mistake. And he knew me well enough to know when I would listen and when I wouldn't. So sometimes he just allowed me to make that mistake. But afterwards, you know, he would say, like, oh, yeah, I didn't think that that was going to be the best decision, but I had to let you make that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, too. But now I tell him, don't let me make mistakes. You know, if you had something to say, just tell me. Like, let me know beforehand. You know, it's a hole in the sidewalk. Don't let me walk in the hole. You know what I mean?
Do you ever feel like experience is the best teacher?
No. I'm not a believer of that. I feel like if someone has already experienced it and I don't have to, why am I going to? We said hi, Deja. Hi, Deja.
Hi, Deja.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true because you can learn by just watching other people's mistakes. You don't have to experience things in life just to learn from it.
Right.
I always say that the word of God is always the best teacher. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, with some people are just really hard-headed. And sometimes for them, experience is the best teacher. And again, I think that, you know, it depends on what part of your life that pertains to, because I do believe that in some part of everybody's life, they're so headstrong that they don't want to take the advice of someone who may know better or who has been in the same situation. So
if there was like some things that you would like to have seen done over, if you had to go all the way back, what are some of the things that you would have liked to see different
in the house?
Yeah.
Okay, so what, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, it can be, you know, yeah, just
so the first
or something that like would have helped, that you think would have helped you.
I feel like the first thing that I would have liked to happen a little differently was just being able to build a relationship before, you know, there's a lot of chastisement. And when I say that, I mean a lot of it was just like, oh, go do this, go do that.
Right.
But just, you know, building a foundation with us first. Yeah. I mean, because even, you know, when it comes, like, okay, with the grandbabies, right? There was never an issue like, oh, hey, sit down, don't do this, don't do that. Like, I mean, he did tell them what to do, what not to do, but he bonded with them first. You know what I'm saying? Like, as babies, the bonding was definitely there. And then came the chastisement. But it wasn't to the point where, you know, it wasn't like he chastised them first and bonded later. Right. And then, you know, because it's not like if we say, oh, you know, let's go to grandma's house, they're not like, oh, I don't want to go over there, he's so mean. Right. You know, they get excited. And we didn't start with the bonding. So I would say, you know, one thing that I think is important is bonding. When you are dating, whether it's a single mother or a single father, not only do you have to date that person, you need to date the kids. You know, you definitely need to date the children, because sometimes kids can be bad enough to make you realize you don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They can run you away. We tried it didn't work. You know,
you tried it didn't work.
Well, Pooh tried it mostly. But yeah, so just, you know, I think that it's very important to try to build a foundation first with the person that, you know, you're to become intimate with, but also building a strong foundation with the children. And I mean, the best way that you know how, you know what I mean? Right. And then to also have people around you who can support you in your decisions, who can offer great advice, because not all advice is good advice. And then, you definitely, you want someone to, or couples, like as mentors, families who are already emulating what you're living. Yeah. So you want to make sure that, you have those things in place. I mean, it's just like taking a test and being prepared for that test versus taking it and not being prepared. So if you miss a day of school, get with someone who took notes. Don't get with the person who missed school the same day. They can't help you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
that's one of the sayings that Dr. Mike always say, get away from people that have your problems, get around those that have your answers.
Yeah.
Because you want to be with those that can lead you in the right direction, give you the right information, and going to make things better for you.
Yeah, so that you can continue to elevate. I mean, that's the whole goal, right?
Right. Let's see. So what are some of the tips that you would give as growing up in a blended family, from a child's perspective, and then like to adults that have children in a blended family?
So okay, for children, the first thing that I would say is you have to open yourself up to allow the person that is coming in. Because the hardest thing is, I believe in our dynamic, it was harder for him than for everybody else. It was four of us. We were all familiar with one another. He's the stranger coming in. You know what I mean? So you're the one that have to build relationships with everybody else. Okay? Not much has to change on our end as it pertains to this person coming into the home. So as a child, I think that one of the first things that you can do is just be open to change and to, not give that person such a hard time. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Now, you don't have to be best friends, you know what I mean? But initially, just give them the opportunity to show you who they are, and allow them to love you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I like that. Allow them to
love you. And as the parent, you said, okay. So as the parent, I think that one of the main things personally, I know that when I date, one of the first things that I look at after you say, oh, okay, I like this person, whatever, you go on a few dates or whatever, or several dates or whatnot, and you're considering moving further. I think that it's very important to watch the interactions of that person with your children, because it will say a lot. It will show a lot. Let them see the kids when they're on their best behavior, but also let them see the children when they're at their worst, and see how they interact with them. Because people who genuinely care about your children, that will show. And those who are trying to mask it, or trying to pretend that they care about your children, that will show too.
Exactly.
It'll come
either
out.
Way, it's going to
show. Yeah.
Okay, that was good. Did you want to jump in, Brandon? Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So is there anything, because we were, let's see, we had pretty much covered a lot of our questions. Is there anything that you wanted, because I kind of asked you, a lot of the questions. You want to jump
everybody.
in?
Wow, look, who is that?
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
You jump on in and talk to her for a little bit. We only have 15 minutes left.
No, I wanted to, a couple things that I wanted to piggyback on. I hate that so much. Couple things that I wanted to touch bases on also was, you were talking about dating someone and finding out how they interact with the kids. And I remember, sweetheart, when we first started dating, because we were just spending time with each other at first. But when we first started dating, y'all had a women's conference, and it was for women, but for the daughters as well. Mother-daughter conference. It was an overnight thing, and I never forget. I had to babysit Deja, and that was the most hilarious time. But let me go back. I was the first one. Hey guys, watch this. Out of the grandmother, the mother, and the two aunts, I was the first one to feed her. Because nobody else could feed her. She wouldn't eat from no one else. And so those are the things, like you were saying, Shadeva, when you see that type of interaction, you know you're on the path, if you're on the right path or not. And so I think out of all the grandkids, me and Deja probably had the strongest bond as well, you know, because I was dada. I'm still dada. And, you know, and so those are the things that you want to do, because this dynamic is so important, and you don't want to waste a lot of valuable time trying to figure something out that you can find out in a short amount of time. And so I just wanted to hit that as well. But I am excited. I hope you guys are really taking in some notes. Shadeva kind of broke some things down about myself and how I interacted and how I went about business as it related to our family and our dynamic. And you heard the first night, it was pretty rough in the beginning. It was real rough. I had no clue. I was clueless. Didn't have anybody to really go to concerning how to handle the blended family, you know, what to do for disciplining and correction and just getting structure for the home. I'm pretty much a drill sergeant. Anybody know me? I like things a certain way. I'm very particular. Even when it comes down to gifts. If you don't give me what I asked for, just don't get it. I'm good. Don't get anything. So I'm very, very particular. And so it was a lot for them to handle. I didn't extend the grace that was needed in the beginning for them to really get to learn me and to know me and to understand me. It was just my way or the highway. And so there were a lot of things that, there were a lot of things in the beginning that weren't as pleasant as they could have been because of that. But that's why, like Madeline said, that's why we're here every Tuesday at 7:30. We want to share with you guys truths that transform. I got that from my man, Charles Stanley. And so we want to share with you guys truths that transform, because guess what? There's some things that you need to know that's going to help assist you in having a better life now as relates to this blended family. And so we're just so excited to be with you guys. We're so excited to be sharing with you. Like you heard now, I mean, things are so awesome. I was doing a little, I forgot what it was called, but it said out of all the people in my life, Shadeva is my ride and die girl. I thought that was so hilarious, you know, and that's not to take anything away from any of my daughters, but I think our dynamic is just a little bit different. And so it's blessed. All of us have a very special and unique relationship. Any of them can call me at any time. They do call me any time. Sometimes anytime doesn't mean anytime, but they call me. We talk about whatever. I'm always there. My door's always open. They know it. My bedroom door's open now.
Yeah.
That door isn't closed like it was when they were younger. And so that's the little joke. When we first got married, I didn't understand about them coming into the bedroom and talking with their mom. And so I was like, why you can't go in the living room and talk with the girls? This where the magic go down. They don't need to come in here. And so, you know, it was like, if we're going to talk out there. but we talk anywhere now, and so it's just so awesome. It's an honor,
Right.
you know. You guys don't understand the role that you play in a blended family. We're showing the world the love of God. When you can take someone that's not your biological, and you can love them as if they're your biological, and even more. We've been together. We'll be married going on 20 years in March, March the 14th. And I've never in 20 years have ever related to or regarded them as stepchildren. They are my daughters. I said it so much that people were looking at them trying to see the similarities. It's just so funny when we deal with that, you know. But I've never, even talking with them, it's always been like that. For some reason, they still got me a religious title, but hopefully these next 20 years, I can just be dad or whoever, you know. But that's another story within itself, because that's how they met me. They met me in the church, and I was a minister.
And when we
and
tried
so,
to change it up,
and I was a minister, and
He said, "Don't call me Brandon."
like, what we supposed to call you?
That's what I thought. I was talking, you know, with some people. They just got on Facebook and they just want to take over everything. So, but you know, and so it's just been awesome. The grandchildren is just a blessing. We're just so excited. We just wanted to talk with you guys these last couple of weeks, just to give you some insight on us. Some questions you guys may have had, some things you weren't quite sure about. Listen, we could tell you about disciplining. There were some things that I did as a disciplinarian I should not have done, because that should have been the mother role. That should have been Madeline's role to do that. But because I was the drill sergeant, I was the chief in command, I was the dum-dum, and I wanted to do it my way. And so there were some things that kind of prolonged our progression in our relationship, because I wanted to handle things my way. There's some upcoming episodes that we're going to share with you guys. Shadeva kind of alluded to one in particular,
At the top of the stairs.
you guys don't know what happened after that. What happened after that is mind-blowing. I mean, it's something that I believe, Shadeva, that sealed us as a family. Us even going through that episode and all that we went through after that. Because the Bible says the thief coming not but for to steal, kill, and destroy. And that was an episode that was designed to destroy us. It was designed to kill us. It was designed to steal from us. And it was designed to destroy us. And so we weathered that thing. And I'm telling you, the favor of God was with us. We were introduced to some people that were strong believers. And so they saw the truth. And the Bible says the truth shall make you free. And so because of that, we were made free. And I'll tell you, it just was so exciting. But we love you guys. We thank you. Show them the book, sweetheart.
Oh, that's right.
Show them the book.
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to sow this into your life. This is Before the Storm. This was written by our pastor, Apostle Michael A. Freeman. And I tell you, it's an awesome book. There are some things we share with you guys during the storm, but there are some things you need to know before the storm. Understand this. Everybody has storms assigned to them. Let me say that again. Everybody has storms assigned to them. And so there are some things, guys, that you're going to need to know before the storm comes. There's going to be financial storms. There's going to be emotional storms. There's going to be storms in your relationship. There's going to be storms with your children, especially as it relates to the blended family. You're going to deal with some storms. And so this book, Before the Storm, show it to them one more time, sweetheart. And what does that say underneath of that? Turn around for me. Before the Storm is pre-storm strategies. Turn it back around. Pre-storm strategies. This book is filled with pre-storm strategies to assist you. So when you're faced with those storms, you're already equipped to handle them. I tell you, it amazes me that there are some things that we implemented, even not even knowing about this, that we implemented even before time that assisted us. When those storms came, we were able to weather them. We were able to go right through them. And so we want to sow this into your life. I believe it's the third person. And so we'll let you guys know who that third person was. And so, again, it's just so awesome. And it's so exciting to be with you guys. Sweetheart, anything you want to say?
No, just I apologize for the last couple of weeks. Shadave and I was just going and going, and we didn't do our giveaways. We didn't sow into the lives of the people, so we do apologize for that because we said we would do it weekly, but we just got going and just forgot to do our giveaways the last couple of weeks. So we apologize for that.
Exactly, because again, this is in the blender. And in that blended family, there are some things that you want to add into that's going to make that family dynamic so awesome and so sweet. And so that's why every week we want to either sow a DVD, a CD, or a book so that you guys can get these tools. You can put it in your blender, and that drink will be the best drink you've ever had. I tell you, we just so excited. We got boxes and boxes of books that we've read throughout the years to assist us to where we are right now. And so we understand the power of reading. We understand the power of knowledge. Knowledge is power. And so we understand that, and we just want to be a blessing to you guys, to share with you guys so that you can be all that you desire to be. We didn't go to this thing wanting to be a failure. We got into this to be a success. And my God, we've been successful. We've raised 3 successful young ladies that are doing great things. And so we're excited for that. Grandchildren are coming into their own, beginning to find themselves out. And so it's awesome. And so we love you guys. We thank you. I'm going to step out. I'm going to let the ladies close out. But again, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we'll get back and wrap.
All right, so we have like a couple minutes. I'll let you do any closing comments, or if anybody on there real quick that have a question they may want to ask Shadava. If not, I'll let her do the final words, and she'll be back with us again sometime in the future, near future. Still trying to get our oldest on. Hopefully that'll happen soon. But you want to go ahead and give any closing comments before we close on out? And
well, again, like I said, I really want to let and this is from the child's perspective. Trouble don't last always. Well, actually, that's for everybody. Trouble don't last always. There is a solution to every problem. You just have to know how to find that solution. So whether it's someone that you need to speak to get assistance from, you definitely want to always, go to God in prayer. But use the resources that are here. This is the reason that He put people here on earth so that we can help, one another, help lift each other up. So, I mean, again, that's the biggest thing. Just know that trouble don't last always, and that, you can get through this, and you don't have to fail at it. It can be successful. Yeah, it will be successful. You just don't want the tribulation to last longer than it have to. You want to end it as quickly as possible. So if you know that you have a problem or there's a lingering issue, find a way to get it resolved immediately. Because it took us a couple years before things really started.
And that was for some things.
Yeah,
and
for some things
took longer. Yeah, longer than that.
Right. So. But I mean, because like I said, I know for me. So I was 13 when he came in. Things didn't really start to get better for me, or I didn't feel as though they started to really get better until I was 17. So you're looking at That's 4 years
right there.
That's a lot of time that passes before you really start to see the manifestation of the solutions to a lot of the issues that you've had. That's a long time to have to deal with certain things, to go through things. I mean, a year is a long time. Go a whole year with financial struggles. That's going to be a long year. You know what I mean? Or sickness. It's just try to find a solution as quickly as possible.
Just always know that you win. We always win. We have the victory in every situation. Yeah. No matter what you're going through or what you deal with, we always win. we'll always come out victorious. And that's our time. It is 8:00. So we have to close now. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to know, you can reach us at weareablendedfamily@gmail.com. Again, weareablendedfamily@gmail.com. And then we look to see you.
And the person that gets the book, sweetheart, is Raymond Pretlord. Ray, you get the book, Ray. And so my wife just gave you our email address, weareblendedfamily@gmail.com. Just send us your contact information and we will love to sow this into your life. Again, Raymond Pretlord, you are the winner. You're the one that we're going to sow this book into. And so again, go to weareblendedfamily@gmail.com so that we can make sure that we send you this book. We thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to share. Mm-hmm. We're taking this thing across the globe. God has given us a command and a commission, and we're just being obedient. So we love you guys. We thank you for tuning in each and every Tuesday. If you know a blended family or someone that's going into this dynamic, make sure you tell them about In the Blender with Brandon and Madeline Hyman. I tell you, they will be blessed. They will be encouraged, and they will be all that they desire to be. Until next week, we love you guys, and God bless.
And thank you, Shadava.
Thank you.
See you guys next week.